it's not
out.
ready yet. There you go.
Here we are. Hello, my lovey. Carla Yuchman and I are here to talk about what? Slowing down? Listening to our bodies? Like I have time to add that to my list. Am I right, Carla?
Yeah, exactly.
It just feels like another thing, right?
Yes.
And the thing is, though, and I just read an email from Emily Williams, hats off to you, ma'am, about the slingshot effect, where when you are moving too quickly, like you get out of alignment. And when we're very capable people, especially if you're a generator, you can go and do more things than seemingly possible. But because you do so many things, like when I'm really on a roll, I'll look up and just be like, oh, I should have thought that one through, huh? Okay, cool. And so being a person of action, as not that I'm not thoughtful, I do have thoughts in my head often, but I don't take the time to really consider what I'm doing and how it fits into a master plan, if that makes sense. What about you, Carla?
Yeah, I have an issue of overextending myself, not listening to my body, and thinking that success equals a full calendar.
I get
Because
that.
we've been taught that.
Right. Because being busy is better. We're a nation of doers. That's what Americans ask. What do you do? What do you, it's not, who are you? Like, I am a daughter, a sister, a mother, whatever, but it's just all about doing things. Where did you go on vacation? If you don't work outside the home, what are you doing? How are you changing your home? How are you doing this and that and the other thing? And the value of a person being intrinsic is something that I work on every day, honestly. So that's new. Definitely new for me. Yeah. In the last, like, I would say, how old am I? In the last 8 years.
Yeah. And I think also the culture of competition. So we're always in competition with parents about who's busier and how many things our children are involved in, or even people without children. It's the competition of, well, I'm running here, I'm doing this, I have so many appointments here, I'm going all these places, like you said, and the burnout and the not listening to your body is just, it's detrimental. And what I learned throughout, so I've been doing this for now, I'm in my 11th year. Nice. And this year was the first year that I was really truly forced to slow down, because of health, because of personal things that were going on. Yet this is my biggest year I've ever had.
Isn't that wild?
And I allowed myself to take naps.
Right.
I allowed myself to decompress and not work on the weekends.
Gorgeous. That is so gorgeous. And I do think that just like a rubber band, when you stretch it, it gets thinner, and there's that stress on it. So when we are constantly stressing ourselves, then what happens is you do hit burnout. You get to where you just don't frickin' care. And so nothing gets done. And then if you're, I don't know, me, then you're going to be hard on yourself because you're like, why are you procrastinating? Why can't you do this? It's like, because I'm done. Put a fork in me. I'm done. I don't have anything left to give because I haven't been filling up my own cup. I love, shout out to Carolyn Hacks, another fab femme who is a columnist at the Washington Post. And she talks about self-care, just being ruthless with your self-care. Get enough sleep, drink enough water. What are you eating? What are you putting into your body? And I like to take it a step forward, because not only are we looking at the nutrition of what we take in, as in what we eat, what we drink, but also what are the ideas that are coming in? Who are the people that you're surrounded with? Pay attention. Just like you watch what you eat and you decide, oh, you know what, I had cake yesterday, so maybe I'll go easy today, or whatever, however you handle your nutrition. But it's the same thing with your people. I have dearly loved ones who are very negative, and I need to be aware and make sure my energy is zipped up because I'll take it on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. I I'm the oldest daughter. I am the oldest granddaughter. I have always had this motherly, I'm going to take care of and protect you. Hence my brand, too,
Mm-hmm.
because Artemis is the goddess of protection of
Mm-hmm.
women and children and animals. And when you have that protection type of personality, you also have this personality of, I have to do everything myself,
Yeah.
which goes along this whole line of listening to your body, your mind, and taking a step back and realizing, hey, like, you can't do everything, you can't stretch yourself so much, then you can't provide and protect the people that you care
Mm-hmm.
about.
And it's interesting, your phrasing is cannot. And I think that we get to change our perspective of not being able to, because
Mm-hmm.
it's not being able to without burnout. I can
Mm-hmm.
do a heck of a lot. I can do way more things and really put myself out.
Yeah.
And that's not healthy. And so
Mm-mm.
I get to draw that boundary.
Mm-hmm.
Additionally, let other people help. Like
Yeah.
that's been revolutionary for me. I've challenged myself this year to really lean on my circle and
Yeah.
let people help me, like you know, whether it's going live like this and being able to spread my mission and message of loving yourself, falling in love with yourself and having joy.
Mm-hmm.
Holy guacamole, like why did I think I had to do it all alone?
Yeah.
And let's extend that into the household. You may not care for the way someone else loads the dishwasher. Puff,
Mm-hmm.
puff, give. You can
Yeah.
let go. Let it
Yeah.
go. And let, you know, if you have
Yeah.
to run it twice, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh I agree with the words. The cannot is, you absolutely cannot take care of your family if you are in bed and you've not been able to take care of yourself. You could do everything in this world and you will get sick.
Mm-hmm.
You will, and you literally will not be able to get out of bed and do things for your family. And that is where I was ending up. And I see so many other women
Mm-hmm.
ending up where they physically and mentally cannot get out of bed.
Gabor Mate does a lot of research on that, of
Mhm.
how we drive ourselves to illness.
Yeah.
Specifically, he studies cancer, and
Mhm.
a lot of the you know, high performing attributes are found in the people that he studies because they don't leave enough for themselves, and their body literally, it goes on rebellion. It
Mhm.
cannot live like that. And
Mhm.
I'm not saying that people who have cancer, you know, deserve it or earned it or whatever, but I'm just saying there's a correlation there, that when you don't leave enough for yourself, your body is going to suffer. And whether that's stomach upset or you know, catching every cold, there's been years where I just caught every cold known to the earth, and I didn't know why. And it was just because I was stressed. I had a
Yeah.
lot going on. I had a marriage that was falling apart. I worked at a CPA firm doing tax returns like 16 hours a day during tax season. It was terrible, you
Mhm.
know, and you can't count on yourself. You have to take
Mhm.
care of yourself and your team, and your body is part of your team.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's where having people in your life surrounding you
Mm-hmm.
that are part of your team is so important. I restructured who I hung out with.
Gorgeous.
Um, yeah, and well, so I'm a Scorpio. I talk about this a lot. If you piss me off multiple times or do me dirty, you're out of my life. No questions asked. Bye.
That's
Um,
fair.
and so it's not like one strike and you're done, but you like, so I went through this period of just trying to figure out who's like-minded, who
Mm-hmm.
can support me. And before we got on the call, This is why you and I get along so well, because I shared some things that are going on in my family. And the first thing that you said is, how can I support you? And so that is so powerful for us as
Mhm.
women. It's like, we got to make sure that we surround ourselves with people that want to take things off of your plate. And that could be just
Mhm.
listening to you for 10,
Yeah.
15 minutes. It doesn't have to be physical acts, or calling whatever, whoever that is, or
Mhm.
making me meals. But what that means is, it's the act of checking in and holding a space
Right.
and
Yeah.
and being there. Yeah, it's so
That's
important.
so important. And also, research indicates that the the key to helping people with addictions is connection. We fundamentally crave, we are social creatures. We crave that connection to other people. And your point about choosing who you surround yourself with, it's imperative, because
Mhm,
that's what you're feeding yourself. You're feeding yourself the people around you, and they're the example of what can be done in this world. And so
mhm,
if you want to, promote your mission, bring people along with you, like that's what I do, then I need to be around people who are doing that.
mhm.
And
Yeah.
you have to get into the room where the people that you want to become, I mean, obviously we don't want to become another person, but you
Yeah,
want to achieve what they have achieved. And
yeah.
so you get to stretch yourself, and it's nerve-wracking sometimes because I'm just like, hey, I'm just a podcaster from Virginia, what's up? You know what I mean? But I have a strong mission and a strong message, and I want people to help me get that out. And so I do like to surround myself with people who remind me of a version of me, right? Like kind
Mhm,
of parallel universe, like this, ooh,
mhm,
the Spider Verse, huh?
mhm. Oh,
Little Marvel
yeah.
reference. You're welcome. Hmm.
Mhm, I like that. I like that. I'm a nerd. Okay, so for my audience, I always love doing these type of talks, and we try to bring in the wealth side of things and the
Hmm.
money side of things. And when you were talking, I started thinking about this post that I did a couple weeks ago, I think. And it was talking about how when I speak with my biz besties, we're always talking about millions and, how we want to impact, and money isn't a bad word.
No.
And this goes along the lines of surrounding yourself with the right people and
Hmm.
stretching yourselves, but also having that support. And when you have the support of being able to talk about your successes
Hmm.
and your mission, what you just talked about, it's so important. And it changes our mindset when it comes to building wealth, when it comes to deserving wealth. Our
Right.
mind just shifts. And it allows us, though, to also take a step back,
Hmm.
understand that we can't DIY ourselves to wealth. And we also have to take a step back and love ourselves
Oh
and
gosh.
know that we deserve the wealth that
Right.
we're trying to accumulate. And so yeah, I just wanted to bring that up too, because I just also saw somebody else post on this other platform I was on, in First Generational Wealth Builder.
Hmm.
And they were talking about how they didn't feel like they deserved the millions that they had.
Oh, right. And why do we value babies so much, and then what? We become worthless because we can walk and talk and we're grown?
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah.
not how it works. Like we are all worth it. It's
Mhm.
just that we put together our subconscious programming as a kid, and sorry, your caregiver's job is to keep you alive, right?
Mhm.
And so
Mhm.
you get a lot of no. No, you
Mhm.
cannot have that. No, you shouldn't want that. You shouldn't even ask for that. And so then that can be misinterpreted as I don't deserve. I don't
Mhm.
deserve wealth. I don't deserve stability. And if you're raised in a chaotic environment, um, you don't
Yeah.
even have the deck of cards. Like
Yeah.
you're outside of the store that sells the deck of cards, and you need something and you're not even sure what it is.
Mhm.
And so
Mhm.
when you're talking about wealth and building wealth and, accumulating and just having it,
Mhm.
it is a mindset thing.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And I think that one of the things that I see a lot of too, women, we're told these myths about how we can manage money, or what the expectations are with us doing things with our money. And
Mhm.
that also feeds into the way that we feel about ourselves, and when it comes to wealth as well, and how we love ourselves. Because if we're not fitting into the norm of societal boxes of how we're spending our money, what we're
Mhm.
investing in, then we're bullied into this, well, you're not good enough.
Right. Which is so ridiculous. And we have to be better or improve our ability to be a little Teflon and let some of that roll off. I didn't raise kids. I had a child that placed for adoption. Um, and it wasn't for me because I grew up so painfully. I didn't want to inflict this world on someone else.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so, especially now with comments being made about, oh, these childless women and, cat ladies and whatever. And I'm just like, is the world a worse place because I didn't raise children? I don't think so. I think the world is a good place and it's a better place because I didn't give myself a nervous breakdown having children. I'm the second of 9. I know how hard it is.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And we talk about too is like the pressures from society for women entrepreneurs to fit
Mhm.
into this box.
Right.
So both you and I have both worked for big companies. We've worked the 9 to 5s. We've been there, done that, and then we've shifted into our entrepreneurial journey.
Mhm.
And there are so many boxes though that they want us to fit into.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we have boxes over here for the 9 to 5, and then we have these boxes over here for being an entrepreneur. And you have to make this certain amount of money in order to be validated, but you also have to spend your money a certain way, but you also have to show up a certain way as an entrepreneur. But if you show up that way, it's not right. And
Right.
there's so many things that we're told, and it's hard for us to take a step back and slow down, love ourselves, and
Mhm.
understand that we get to show up the way that we want. We get
And we get
to
to quiet that noise.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. And it's super hard when you first are an entrepreneur. I
Right.
Yeah,
And
to
that
find
speaks
your voice.
to, like, for me, that speaks to surrounding yourself with people who are doing
Yes.
and are at the level that you want to be getting to.
Yep.
And that's not just in business, right? That's
Mhm.
not just with money.
No.
This is for anything. If you want to be a,
Mhm.
a kind, generous, giving person, get
Yeah.
those people in your life. What are
Yep.
they doing that makes you think that they are the way you want to be?
Mhm.
Whether it's, like entrepreneurs, like how
Mhm.
are they doing it? Like, oh, let me think, what would Carla do? Like, or, and you get to ask yourself, like,
Yeah.
Leilani would do this or that, and you
Yeah.
think of the women or the people that are successful that are in your circle, and that
Mhm.
can help you have that
Mhm.
confidence and give yourself that trust so that you recognize that you are worth millions
Mhm.
and it's absolutely okay to want it, to earn it, and to keep it.
Yep.
You don't
Yep.
have to be like the lottery winners who like jam through $50 million in 2 years, like
Exactly, exactly. Oh, well, we could keep talking for ever, like we
ever.
normally do. This is why we do lives together, because for our audience, we never know what we're going to talk about
Right.
until we get on. We're in the backstage, and we're like, "Oh, how's your week been?" And then we just start finding, yeah, we have a topic, and this is not planned out, and we want it this way because I
Right.
want my audience to know who Melissa is, what she brings, why it's so important, and I love surrounding myself around you because you help women, not just women, but for my audience, women shift their mindset, shift the way that they show up in this world, and it's in a way that feels good to them.
Exactly. And it's doable. Because
Absolutely.
believe me, if I can figure it out, ha ha, anybody can, you know? And likewise for you, Carla, I adore that you are empowering women with money. It's just a form of energy. Let's use it. Let's use it to great effect. Yeah, it's a tool.
Exactly. And again, if you are listening at the back end of this, we said money is not a bad word. It's not a bad tool. It's what you do with it. And the more you have, the more impact you can make. And so, yeah. And if my audience wants to connect with you, how can they connect with you, Melissa?
Please reach out. You can DM me on social media. I am Melissa Trumbull, and my handle is either going to be Melissa Trumbull or ZFG Living, and that is 0F's Given Living. And that's also, and check out my podcast too, because all the work that I do with my clients, it's available in the podcasts for sure.
Love it. Love it. And to reach out to me, you can visit me on LinkedIn or Facebook, LinkedIn, Carla Ueckman, and come into my DMs if you have any questions. You can also visit my website at artemiswealth.net. And we'll be on again in a couple weeks. But if you have a topic that you want us to talk about, leave it in the comment section, because we will make sure that we're talking, and nothing's off limits, by the way. Right. And we also won't say your name. So if you have a topic and you want it to be more private, just come into our DMs and we'll talk about it. And yeah, so I hope everybody has a great rest of your week.
Yahoo! See ya.